The Spring 2024 championship race with Taber's Gran Turismo Race League at Fuji International Speedway was a spectacle of epic proportions. Imagine Formula One cars roaring around the track, with some of the league's top racers vying for glory and a few original members back in an attempt to show everyone how it's done. The race started with an explosive first turn that felt more like a demolition derby than a championship race. It was mayhem typically reserved for sport mode daily races, with cars colliding, spinning, and flipping like pigs plummeting from an airplane. Okay, maybe no flips or pigs, but you get the point. The track was a battlefield, and only the brave, but more so lucky, managed to navigate through the wreckage unscathed. As the race hit its stride with lap after lap of graceful pedal work, the sky decided it was time to turn up the drama. Rain began to pour down with the intensity of a biblical flood, enough to drown an entire state. For the shorter drivers, like Taber's, it was a life or death situation as their open-top formula cars started to resemble bathtubs. A few laps in, the rain finally relented and the sun emerged, bringing a false sense of security to the soaked and weary drivers. Seizing the opportunity, Taber's made a bold move to switch to soft tires. Much like other things that happened prematurely, this too turned out to be a premature decision. Taber's and Jester, at different times, both exited the pits with the same style. Their spins in graceful, albeit unintentional, much like an ice dance down the track. Leave it to them to bring some more viewers to the sport, though. And while Jester managed to regain some control, Taber's continued his slippery performance, gracefully losing position after position. It was drivers like DS1126 who stayed on the wet tires till refuel, proving that pit management was the top strategy to this race. So back at the front though, the battle for supremacy was heating up. Lefty 13 was in hot pursuit of the two leaders, P-Boost and DS1126. Tensions ran high as the trio fought for every inch of asphalt. In a moment of frustration, or perhaps cheeky camaraderie, P-Boost decided to give 1126 a little nudge. A kiss of disapproval for a line he didn't quite fancy. While DS1126 was ready to swing away, instead he took that energy going hard on the throttle to prove he was the racer to beat. As the race neared its conclusion, P-Boost was relentless, cutting left and right, desperately trying to close the gap on DS1126. It was a nail-biting finish, but in the end, DS1126 held his ground, crossing the finish line first. P-Boost and Lefty followed closely behind, making it a podium worth remembering. Now, with the spring championship behind them, the drivers turn their attention to the summer series. Some will show up to race, others might opt for a break, but does anyone really care? Not really. The spirit of Taber's Gran Turismo Race League is all about the thrill of driving, the camaraderie, and the sheer joy of the race. So until the summer series kicks off, keep your engines revved and your wits sharp. The road ahead is long and the adventure is just beginning.